Welcome back, chess fans. In this video, it's all about Gukesh. Gukesh has been on the rise. He's number 5 in the world ranking, and he has beaten Wei and Caruana, two top players in the Olympiad, gaining 26 rating points. And why does it matter? Because Gukesh will face Liren in the World Championship November 25th. Liren, the Chinese current world champion, has been playing poorly both in the Olympiads, no wins there, and in other tournaments 2024. So Gukesh has a real chance to win. Now let's see Gukesh chess. With white, he can play 1d4 or 1e4. Here against Caruana in a recent game, he played a Catalan opening with g3. The game goes on and they play a lot of theory. And now let's go to the key moment of the game. This is black to play, and here Caruana had to play knight g6 to try to go to e5. Instead, he plays queen g6. Now, if white were to retreat, then knight c6 is fine, attack the queen, the knight blocks here, and even if you're down a pawn here, black is doing fine. But after this move, there's only one winning move for white, and Gukesh plays rook f4. Now, if black tries to move the bishop, boom, we win like that. Not possible. If black were to play rook b8, we capture the pawn, and now we have a dangerous position for white. So instead, Fabiano Caruana plays queen g5. He was hoping that white takes, and then knight g6. That's a good move. But Gukesh plays again the only move, h4. The queen goes back, we take a pawn, rook b8 played, and here queen d7 attacking the knight. h5 played, we do bishop e6, and here Caruana is trying to counterattack. Bishop f7, attack the queen, and now attack the knight. So yes, we have to go into the endgame, but guess what? Bishop takes h5, white has two extra pawns, that bishop is super strong, and in a few moves, Caruana resigned. So we can see here, that was a critical position, even knight g8, threatening knight f6 was a good move, but after queen g6, Gukesh converted this game. And now, let's see 1e4 played by Gukesh against Grandmaster at the recent Olympiad in Hungary. And here, where does he go for? Gukesh goes for the Italian game. He can play this opening with white as well as with black. Now, in this position, very quickly, he plays bishop g5, knowing that the bishop, if attacked, can retreat to g3. Let's see. Black plays aggressively g5, bishop retreats, and now we play c3. c3, d3, e4, Joko piano variations. I have many videos on my own channel if you care about the theory. Here, black plays a5, the game continues, and on move 10, after only 8 seconds, Gukesh plays a3. So right here, he's already prepared, he's in his opening preparation. And as early as move 10, we have a mistake by Suleimanli, Grandmaster, ranked 2632 in classical chess. Knight h5 played. Feel free to pause the video. And here Gukesh plays effectively the winning move of the game, which is knight e5. So now if black would capture knight e5, we take first here, and now we capture the knight on h5 with a winning position here. If on this move black capture with the pawn, same thing, the knight on h5 is hanging. Therefore, in the game, black try to take here, but Gukesh calculated the whole variation. Check. Check. Now, if the king takes f7, we capture with check there. king g7 played. We capture the knight. And here, we capture the rook. And after the best move, d4, we have a rook versus 2 bishops, but we have 8 pawns versus 6. And very important, that king here is not safe. So the game continues. I won't go into the details, but here it's completely winning for white because we have the center here, 2 extra pawns, that bishop on a7 is locked. This one is not doing much, and we can play queen f3, played by Gukesh, and infiltrate over here. So very easy win for white here. Gukesh showing excellent prep with 1e4. Just let you know, knight h5 is a terrible mistake because the knight is hanging. Black had to play queen e7 and potentially bishop d7 or bishop e6, and then playing long castle and trying to attack here. That was a plan, but that didn't happen in the game. Let's switch to the black pieces next. Now I found Gukesh excellent with the black pieces. In the game we're gonna show next, he's gonna show something interesting against g4. But what happened against 1e4, his main move is e5. He can play different moves, but that's something he has prepared a lot. And here, he's well prepared against the Italian and also against the Ruy Lopez or Spanish bishop b5, where we play a6 and all the main line. Note that Magnus Carlsen also plays the Spanish with black. Now on d5, he's a very classic player. He will not play something like the Benko, like that. He will not play something like the King's Indian, like that. He's going for the center, either d5 very quickly or knight f6 very quickly. And here, after c4 e6, white, against in the Budapest Olympiad, played knight f3. And here, Gukesh has played bishop b4 check, the Bogo, and he has played various moves. But in this position, he comes up with a very interesting idea, and he's playing h6, trying to go again outside the theory. White plays g3, and only now he gives a check here. Bishop d2, bishop retreats, castle, castle, and now he takes the center with d5. Now the game goes on, and he's very patient, and eventually, he takes the advantage. I won't show the whole game, but you can see that in this position, he's ready to attack over here. The knight on d5 is fantastic. The game continues, and eventually, he pushed by playing g4, and the queen goes to h5, and he wins a very nice game. I won't go into the details. I want to show you more games, but you can see here, black is crashing through with a beautiful finish here. If the queen takes, we do checkmate. So once again, quite interesting, playing the move h6, which presents bishop g5 and goes out of the main theory. Let's see another game. Now the next game I want to showcase is Gukesh Black against Abasov, playing the candidates this year. Abasov was the weakest of all the players, but he was very solid. He made a lot of draws in the tournament, and here Gukesh has the black pieces. And what does he play? He plays a Nimzo. And Abasov played queen c2, very solid. And here, move 4, what did Gukesh play? His specialty, h6. Once again, that's not a common move. A common move would be d5. Another move would be c5. You could also play castle. But h6, very interesting. Knight f3, very solid. Now c5. And then the game goes on. Once again, bishop g2. We take. And here, black is playing against the double pawns. Very positional. The game went on like that. it was a competitive game with the knight on h7, but eventually Gukesh prevailed. Let's see another game. And now, in the final game, Gukesh facing d4, playing white, Madshoogloo, Parham, an extremely strong player from Iran, and they play at the Olympiads. So here, typically, knight f6 is what Gukesh played. In this game, he goes with d5. Keep in mind, he played that against Hikaru Nakamura in the candidates, and on c4, he decided to take in that game, managed to draw in a very important game. In this one, we play a Queen's Gambit, and here he's surprising his opponent with white. He goes for the Taraj defense. So now we continue. Once again, very principled. The two knights are developed and black occupies the center. Gukesh always go for the center against d4. Now he takes in the center, and once again, pressure that knight on d4. He's trying to take and put some pressure. Now retreats, and the game goes on. Now h6, very typical of Gukesh. He doesn't like white coming to g5. And now we go to the critical moment of the game. This is rook d1. We have a very competitive position. If black were to take on e5, white can take on d5. But here, it happens that Gukesh has an excellent move ready. And the move here is knight e7. Knight retreats, right? But remember, that knight over here is pinned. And what is black threatening? Well, there's a knight c6 here, which is threatened, maybe knight c8, and also potentially knight f5. So, brilliant idea. Instead of just grabbing a bishop, exchanging, retreating the knight. Now, Parham takes on g7, and now we have knight f5. This is the fork that Gukesh intended. Queen f4 played. By the way, queen g4 will lose to the nice tactics. Queen f4 played, and now we take the knight on g7, and we have an extra knight. The game continues, but guess what? There's an extra knight for black, only 3 pawns, and effectively Gukesh converted. So once again, he can play anything with black. He can go, let's say, like this, or he can go like that, or he can go also with a classic Nimzo. So, and finally, he can play the Queen's Gambit Declined or the Queen's Gambit Accepted. So many options for Gukesh with the black pieces. Also so well prepared with 1e4, 1d4. Excellent in the middle game, finding this amazing move like knight e7. And I think Gukesh is the favorite against Ding Liren in the upcoming World Championship. He could be the next classical world champion. Leave your comments, let me know if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.